Today we're going to look at the last of our functions for a little while. Going to do rational functions. And rational functions, the parent function here you can see is 1 over x. 1 over x is the parent function. And it has asymptotes. Alright, if you remember, asymptotes are the numbers that it gets really close to, but it never quite gets to. Well, in this case, this has asymptotes at y equals 0 and at x equals 0. And it has a domain of all of the real values except x equals 0, and the range then would be all of the reals except y is not equal to 0. And of course, as you would imagine, we can transform these, and in this case here we have a transformation of multiplying by a number, and as before it sort of changes the shape of the graph, the shape of the curve. I'm not going to worry too much about you being able to hit those exact points, but just do understand that the larger that number, the further away it is from the origin. Next, we'll shift it to the right, and as you probably guessed, inside or underneath the fraction bar, or in the denominator, it's the opposite of what you think. All right, here we have x minus 2, and here we have a shift to the right. This parent function in red has been shifted to the right. And I separated it out here, and you can see very clearly here now that the asymptotes are at y equals 0 and at x equals 2. Those are where my asymptotes are. And so the domain then would be all of the reals except x is not equal to 2. And the range is all of the reals except y is not equal to 0. And here again are my asymptotes of y equals 0 and x equals 2. And yep, you guessed it. If it's not underneath the fraction bar, it's outside of that territory. It's a shift of up or down, and here you can see I've subtracted 3, and so it has moved the curve down. And here I've separated it out, and you can clearly see that I've got an asymptote here at y equals -3 and at x equal to 0. And that would make the domain all of the reals except x is not equal to 0, and the range is all of the y's except y is not equal to -3. So, in your reply to today's video, if you will, please tell me what the asymptotes are and what the domain and the range are for this rational function.